Hello, and welcome to my YouTube channel. My name's Jeremy. I'm the coach of the Springfield Starmies, and we're here with our quick team builder for our UNPL finals match against Pokemon Master. You can see here the bracket that we've managed to make our way through. It's been pretty tough. We've had to win 3 games just to make finals, as opposed to 3 to win the whole championship. But we're here, and we're facing off against someone who we lost to in the regular season, so hopefully we can get our revenge. He's a good opponent. He kind of bopped us last time. He brought a Fortress that got 3 kills. He brought a Weavile that did a crap ton of damage to us just off lead. Then he brought like a Cursed Cerulege that kind of cleaned up the game. Not sure how good it actually was or whether he's going to bring it again or whatever. But he's also got Garchomp. He's got Weavile. I said Weavile already. He's got Primarina. He's got Galarian Slowking. He's got a lot of big threats. It's a 10 versus an 8 matchup. Not that it really matters, but hoping for a little bit of a revenge story, a little bit of an underdog story. Maybe we can finally pull off a championship here in Wi-Fi. But let's take a look at the matchup real quick before we look at what I am bringing. Top 6 are what I expect my opponent to bring. I don't think Vigoroth is coming. Came last time. Don't think it's coming again. I don't think Medicham is coming either. It's one of his Terra Captains. Can be Fairy, Fighting, and Water. Don't really expect that at all. But I think that the top 6, specifically Garchomp, Weavile, Thundurus, and Primarina, have to come. I think Slowking Galar also is very, very likely to come. Neither Primarina nor Slowking Galar came last time, which I think was a mistake, even though he won. And I think it would be a mistake for him not to bring both of them this time, because for various reasons, they both look really, really good into me. Primarina is his best defensive answer to Palafin, and Slowking, aside from just being a really, really good pivot, is also a great answer into Screamtail. It's a pretty good answer into Pecharunt. And if it has a lot of special attack investment and it's running something like a Colbur Berry, can deal with Ogerpon Hearthflame. So I think that the top 5 definitely should come and will come. 6 will probably be Fortress, just because it did so well into me last time, even though it, against a lot of my stuff, doesn't do a ton. It's his best hazard removal option. If he doesn't want to run Rocks and Garchomp, it's his best hazard setting option. But it's a little bit passive, but it does get Volt Switch. And I think that those 6 yellow guys are the most likely dudes to show up. Cerulege could come again. He could bring Bulk Up, Hisuian Decidueye with Terra Dark, maybe Terra Rock for Ogerpon, but then Terra Rock makes him super, super weak to Palafin Jet Punch. But I think that the top 8, discounting Medicham and Vigoroth, are the only Pokemon that you could possibly bring. So those are the only Pokemon that I'm realistically prepping for. But I've got some good options on my side. Palafin looks amazing, especially if Primarina is dealt with and Thundurus is about half health. Regieleki looks fantastic if Garchomp is gone. And Ogerpon is just always a good breaker. So Ogerpon looks good. He also has a lot of trouble switching into Pecharunt. He's got stuff that can deal with it. Psychic moves on Galarian Slowking, Psychic Noise on Primarina, Earthquake on Garchomp. But if I get a free turn, so if he brings Fortress, which is super passive, then I get an opportunity to either click not Swords Dance, Nasty Plot, or a Ghost Move or a Poison Move, because he doesn't really switch into it well. Tinglu is there just for hazards, primary switch into a lot of stuff. But let's get into what we are bringing a little bit in the matchup. First up is going to be Shannon, our Tinglu. So this is going to be our first switch into his Thundurus Incarnate, probably his Primarina, and then depending on what he is bringing, it could also be our switch into stuff like Cerulege. We're running Rocky Helmet because I'm worried about a Focus Sash on Weavile, and we want to be able to, of course, break that. But Rocky Helmet is also good if he is Cerulege running Bitter Blade, or if he's going to be running Flip Turn on Primarina. Primarina is something that we absolutely need to get chip on. So if we can catch a Flip Turn into something like a Weavile, then of course it's going to lose a 6th of its health and make it that much easier for Palafin to clean up late game. Our special defense investment's enough to live +2 Life Orb, Grass Knot, or Focus Blast from Thundurus Incarnate. And then we've just got 3 moves that are intended to hit his team as hard as possible. Body Press is specifically there for Weavile, because if he makes contact with us, then if he has a focus sash, it'll be broken, and then body press will OHKO him. If he's not focus sash, then body press will just OHKO him anyway. So this Ting Lu is meant to be able to beat Weavile 1v1 unless he's like Icicle Crash Choice Band and then gets a flinch on us. Next up, Jim, Petra, Rocky Helmet again. I see a scenario in which we could cycle back and forth between Pecharunt and Ting Lu against Weavile, predicting triple axle versus knockoff, and then basically do like more than half of its health to get it into range of Palafin Jet Punch. But again, Rocky Helmet on Pecharunt is there for the exact same reasons that Rocky Helmet is there for Ting Lu. This is also a hard wall to Vigoroth, so I would be happy to see Vigoroth come again, because it means that Pecharunt will just always be able to beat it. Due to, I think it's Insomnia is its ability, it can't go to sleep, so even if it's bulk up, if I just get a poison off on it with Malignant Chain, I can always win. And even if he's like +3 or +4, he doesn't 2-hit KO me with Earthquake or Knockoff or Shadow Claw or whatever other move it gets. But Pecharunt, I would say, is the number one reason why I don't expect Vigoroth to come, although again, it came last time, so who knows. We've got enough speed for Modest Primarina, and then the rest is just put into physical defense, because I'm really, really worried about living hits from Garchomp, living hits from Weavile, living hits from things like let's go back to the Team Builder really quickly. Not the Team Builder. Yeah, things like Saraledge if it does come. And then again, if he's like U-turn or knockoff on Thundurus, then this really helps with that as well. Third up is our Ogerpon Hearthflame Swords Dance, because if we get a free turn, we want to be able to kill the Galarian Slowking in one hit, which +2 knockoff does to physically defensive Slowking if it's not Cobra Berry, which I think it probably should be if it comes. The rest is in bulk. I do see a situation in which he gets up Stealth Rocks, and we have to switch into that. So we want to have as good of a chance as possible of living a Sludge Bomb from Galarian Slowking. So we have put a little bit into bulk here just to have a better chance of living that. Knockoff plus Ivy Cudgel plus Power Whip is just really good coverage into our opponent's team. So pretty straightforward there. That's going to be me, Jeremy. This is going to be our first free turn switch in, so the first time that we have momentum and can bring in something, we're going to bring this in. That is, of course, assuming we've already been able to get Palafin activated. The first free turn we get, we will, of course, be going into Palafin to try and get it activated. But there's also a decent chance that we're going to lead with this. I think this is my most likely dedicated lead, because not a lot kills this unless he's basically Choice Specs Thundurus, or he is Terra Rock Hisuian Decidueye. He really has trouble getting rid of this, or I think probably Choice Band Garchomp Poison Jab will also get rid of it. But we might stand against that just because we're naturally faster. So Ogerpon Hearthflame looks like a great breaker for us. Palafin. Palafin is one of our 2 win conditions this week, alongside Regieleki. Elizabeth. This is her week to shine. Once we get activated, and if Palafin has managed to get enough chip on Primarina, or if Primarina doesn't come, this can really just go off. We've got protective pads to protect us from Garchomp's bullshit. Bulk up is there so that we can get stronger and bulkier against things that can't really touch us, like Fortress if it comes, or really, really defensive Primarina that doesn't have Energy Ball, like it's not doing too much to us. And then the combination of Jet Punch and Wave Crash just kind of beats everything. And then Body Slam is there for Primarina. Our opponent doesn't really have good switch-ins to Water-type moves. It's basically Primarina and the Hisuian Decidueye, and that's before it Terras. So water moves look great. So we're hoping to be able to click a lot of water moves this game with our Palafin. Our speed is there for Timid Primarina. Our attack investment is enough to do about 50% to Thundurus Incarnate. So, in other words, after it eats a Ruination, we should be able to kill it with Jet Punch, even without a bulk up. So that's nice. And then the rest is just in HP and defense, because it's nice to have that investment. Next up is Regieleki, which looks amazing but only if Garchomp is dealt with. We are running Modest with max speed. This speed ties Jolly Garchomp at +1. So if he's either Choice Scarf or he's clicked Scale Shot, then we're a speed tie. I really, really wanted Modest on this, so I was willing to risk that being the case, because there's a good chance that if we're in with Regieleki against Garchomp, we're not going to be hoping we win a speed tie anyway. But we do have Terra Blast to do like 20% to the Garchomp. And if Garchomp is dead, then this can really, really clean up as well, because outside of priority like Ice Shard or Shadow Sneak, this kind of goes wild. So Sully could definitely be a win con for us as well. We're running Wise Glasses because we don't want to take Life Orb recoil. And I think that there's a good chance that Regieleki has to take some form of damage, whether it's through hazards, through priority, or if it needs to come in and eat a hit against something like a Choice Scarf Thundurus Incarnate. I don't really want to be in a situation where I'm losing 10% of my health every time I click a move. Last up is Coco. I realized in our last matchup that I absolutely needed a Garchomp check, and this is the best Garchomp check that I could come up with. Between Air Balloon and our Fairy typing, we are immune to Garchomp's dual stab, and if he wants to click Swords Dance, then I can Encore that and then Baton Pass out. If he wants to click Poison Jab or Iron Head, then good call by him. But if he runs Dragon Ground and then Poison plus Steel, then he still gets walled by Earthworm, which I brought last time. So I'm expecting him, if anything, to run Fire coverage for that, which doesn't really hit Screamtail too hard. And then even if my Balloon's broken, then he has to risk eating a Dazzling Gleam, which does really well in terms of opening up my other Pokemon, specifically Regieleki. So I think Screamtail could do really well here. I'm hoping Coco puts in the work. We've got Baton Pass out for momentum on what I'm expecting to be a Slowking switch-in. We can go into something else, and then Thunder Wave is there to slow stuff down, get some para hacks, the usual. And lastly, Dazzling Gleam, just the best move to hit everything. Does about 40% to Garchomp, does about 40% to Weavile, doesn't do anything to Slowking, but again, we're going to be Baton Passing out on that anyway. But that's the 6 that we have. Spent a bunch of time trying to put this team together, hoping it'll put in work, and we will be back for the game. So, bye. We are here and it's finals time for UNPL Academy, and we're facing Pokemon Master. This should be a really fun match. We faced in the regular season, and he beat me. So, definitely looking forward to trying to get our revenge here. We've got our 6, and looks like he is ready. So let's go ahead and get connected and see what our opponent brought. I'm kind of expecting a different team than he had last time. I think last time he brought Vigoroth, Fortress, and Ceruledge. I think Ceruledge of those 3 is by far the most likely to come. But I don't really think Vigoroth is coming, just because it kind of gets nuked by Pecharunt. And I don't think Fortress is coming either, just because let's choose Kieran. I don't think Fortress is coming either, just because it gets bopped by Ogerpon. But let's see what he ended up bringing this match. Is it the same thing as he brought last time? He brought Decidueye. Okay, this is pretty much what I expected. There's still no Primarina. That's interesting. Okay, he didn't bring Vigoroth this time. He brought Thundurus, which we expected. Weavile. He did bring Slowking. And then he brings the Decidueye, so he does have his Terra Captain. And there's no Ceruledge. So, because there's no Primarina, Palafin looks pretty good if we can, depending on what his Terra is, if we can get activated. But what the Decidueye means is that it's going to be a little bit harder for us to break with Pecharunt, with Palafin, especially if he is Terra Bulk Up. But I think this is okay. His recovery is basically exclusively the Slowking Galar. He did bring his hazard removal option. I kind of did expect for him to bring Fortress just because it did so well last time. I think it got 3 kills. And it does allow him to remove hazards and Volt Switch out if I go into Pecharunt. But let's go ahead and see what he leads off with. Last time he led off with Weavile. We're going to lead off with our Ogerpon and hope we can get a good lead. I think the best lead here would be Fortress, of course. I don't think he's going to lead Fortress. I think he's probably going to lead either Weavile or Decidueye. That would be my guess. He could also lead Thundurus, which would probably also not be great because Thundurus is naturally faster than us. So let's see what he leads. He does lead with Thundurus. can he kill us? So he can kill us if he's spec Sludge Wave, he'll kill us. So do we need to immediately go into Ting-Lu here and burn potentially our Rocky Helmet? Not a Rocky Helmet. Scout to see if he's going to be Nasty Pot. So if he specs, he's going to kill us with Ogre Pawn. So we like basically can't afford to stay in here. So we have to switch out. And if he is Nasty Pot, then good on him. He's going to get a free kill. Or he's going to get a lot of damage off on us. So let's go ahead and see what he is. So he's 514. Is he Nasty Pot? U-turn would be the best here. Focus Blast. And he misses. That's really, really nice. Okay. So we know that the Thunderous is Focus Blast. This also makes me think he's Specs. Does he have a good switch in here? Does he have a good switch in? I mean, his best switch in is Slowking or Weavile, potentially Decidueye. I just want to go for Ruination here because getting chip off on something would be nice. He goes for Focus Blast. He does hit this time. Is he Specs? 514 down to 262. So that does 514 minus 262 is 252. That's probably going to be Choice Specs, right? So 252, that is Choice Specs. So it's Specs Focus Blast. He does have a roll to kill us. He does have a roll to kill us here. I think he's gonna swap, but we basically have to hope that he doesn't, and we are able to potentially get some momentum here. So our Ting-Lu's at 252 health. He's gonna switch out here 100%. His switch into this is gonna be, well, Garchomp gets chipped, Thunderous gets chipped, Weavile gets chipped. So his only real switch into this is Slowking or Garchomp. I'm gonna Parting Shot. There's no way he's gonna stay in. He's definitely, yeah, he's Choice Locked. He's Choice Specs Focus Blast. I anticipate he's probably gonna go into Slowking. Yeah, there we go. So Slowking is in. This is a good opportunity for us to get activated with Palafin, because what we can do now is we can go back into Ting-Lu on the expected Chili, because that's what I think he's going to do here. And I think he'll probably go back into Thunderous, if I had to guess. Either that or Weavile. But we are now activated with Palafin. Is he going to go for Chili? Thunderwave. That's nice, because now, so he's Thunderwave on Slowking. So he's Thunderwave. That's nice because it means that if he has Sludge Wave, a poison move, and then a psychic move, he can only have Recover, so he can't be like Trick Room. It's unlikely that he's Calm Mind or anything along those lines. So what we can do here is we've kind of got a free Earthquake. He could go back into Thunderous, but that's like pretty risky. We could also get up Rocks. I think getting up Rocks is a good play here, because unless he's like Focus Blast, we're going to be able to start getting up Hazards here. So I'm going to go for Rocks. I think he'll probably switch. Is he going to go Weavile, or is he going to go back into Thunderous? Weavile. Okay. This is really, really nice because we're going to stay in here. And we're going to click Body Press. And if he goes for Swords Dance, he'll die. And then if he's just max attack with no boosting item, he'll kill us if he gets 3 hits with Axel. But he'll take a lot of damage from Rocky Helmet. So is he going to knock off here? He's totally going to Axel, isn't he? He's totally going to Axel. I think he's going to Axel and then he's going to knock. Right? So if he gets 2 hits of Axel and kills us, then we go into Palafin. We can click Jet Punch. Or do we want to go into Pecharunt right now, call the Axel? I'm going to call the Axel. I think he's going to Axel, and then we're going to go back into Ting-Lu on the knockoff. I hope he doesn't Swords Dance. That would not be good. He Swords Danced. We should have just body pressed. We should have body pressed. But what's he going to do now? Now is he going to knock? So Petrarch against +2 Weavile. This should not kill us with our helmet. We can probably... So knockoff's going to do a ton to us. How do we beat this? Shoot. I think we need to... What do we need to do here? The +1 Axel will kill us, but I think we have to Parting Shot. Knockoff does a ton. We are able to go back into our Tinglu here. I really should have stayed in. If I had just clicked body press, I think that would have been like a game-winning play. So we now have Palafin Hero activated. And he's +1 Weavile. So Nock's going to do a ton to us. Jet Punch. Do we need to just start going for it here? So are we going to die to Ogre Pawn? That'll kill us. Screamtail. Screamtail +1. That won't kill us. But now we're really weak to Garchomp. So I think we need to go into Tinglu here. Hope for a little bit of luck with triple Axel misses. This is pretty much putting us in the same position we were before. We really should have just clicked body press. I think he's probably Focus Sash, if I had to guess. I really thought he was going to click Axel there. I didn't expect him to click Swords Dance. That's a good play. But hopefully we'll be able to get a little lucky here. Maybe like only 2 Axel hits. 2 Axel hits would be nice, because then I think we would be able to kill this. I wonder what he's thinking about. Because he should kill us here. He should definitely kill us here. We have got Palafin activated, which is nice. Because Palafin can kind of beat a lot of stuff. We're at the point now where we can kill Thundurus, because Thundurus is... I believe we took half of Thundurus's health. So Thundurus is at 50%. Axel hit. Only 1. Only 2. Ah, he got 3 hits. Okay, well, we're going to be able to get rid of Weavile here, even though we sacrificed Tinglu to do so. So now what we can do is we can bring out Palafin. We do have Rocks up, which is nice. Rocks are really nice, and this Fortress is not going to be able to really do much to us. So let's go into our Palafin here and then just click Jet Punch. We're either going to be able to kill this Weavile, or we're going to be able to start shipping something that basically has permanent damage on it. So let's just click Jet Punch here. We should be able to kill this Weavile. He's probably going to click Ice Shard, if I had to guess here. Jet Punch. Nope, Weavile's dead. Okay, cool. So the Weavile's dead. That definitely did a lot more. If we had just clicked Body Press on Tinglu, we would have been in a great spot, but it is now 5-5. He still has the Garchomp, the Thundurus at about half health, Slowking at 100%, the Decidueye, and then the Fortress. He's going to go into Decidueye here, 100%. He's going to go Decidueye 100%. And it probably means we're going to have to bring in Screamtail a little bit earlier than we wanted. The question is, do we die to like a offensive Decidueye here? Palafin Hero, Decidueye, Hisui. Yeah, we totally die. If he's Choice Banded. If he's Choice Banded, we die. Which means we can go into Petrarch and sack. Although, if we're... Is this our opportunity to go into Ogre Pawn? I think this is our opportunity to go into Ogre Pawn. Because unless he's like Choice Band fighting or Rock Terra, then this is going to be pretty good for us. Hopefully he's not Trailblaze. But we'll go ahead and see what he does here. He's probably going to Terra. He Trailblazes. Okay. So what did that do? 323 to 299. Leftovers. Okay. So Trailblaze. What did that do? That did 24 damage to our Ogre Pawn. So that is not Choice Band, of course. 24 damage. So that's max attack. Is it Adamant or Jolly? Could be either one. If he's Terra Rock, how bad is this? If he's Terra Rock, how bad is that? Does he kill us if he's Terra Rock? He does. Oof. Okay, well, I think we have to go for our Ivy Cudgel here. If he's Terra Rock, that means that Palafin can pretty easily revenge this. So let's just go ahead and do it here and see what Terra he is. I think Bulk Up would be the most scary. He's probably going to be Terra Dark, if I had to guess. But if he is Terra Rock, that's all right. It just opens up Palafin a lot more. Is that Terra Rock? That is Terra Rock, okay. So that should kill us, I think, most of the time here, depending on what his attack investment is. Do we live? If we live, that would be huge. Nope, we die. So Ogre Pawn is going to go down. Good brings by our opponent so far. Definitely good brings by our opponent. Can we kill with Palafin into this? Jet Punch should do 95%. If he's no attack invested. So I think we have to do it at this point. We know he's leftovers. We pretty much have to go for it here. If we can't kill, this is probably game. If we can't kill here, this is probably game. And depending on his investment, he might be able to kill us. He's definitely going to be able to kill us, should I say. But if he's Leaf Blade, he shouldn't actually kill us here because he's not Choice Band and he's not a boosting item because he's leftovers. So we know he's leftovers on this. So we know his leftovers, Decidueye. We know nothing about Garchomp. We know Thundurus is specs. We know nothing about Slowking, and we know nothing about Fortress. I think Jet Punch. Does this kill? It kills. That's really, really nice. Okay, so the Decidueye is done. That leaves Garchomp, Thundurus, Slowking, and Fortress. Regieleki can deal with Slowking. Regieleki can deal with Fortress. Regieleki can also deal with Thundurus because it's specs. So it's literally just the Garchomp. Thundurus is probably coming in here. And it's probably going to click an electric move. And we don't really have an answer to that because our... Oh, he goes Garchomp. This is what we want, isn't it? Isn't this exactly what we want? So we can't really kill us with anything. I'm just going to go for Wave Crash. Isn't Wave Crash the play? We can deal with Fortress, we can deal with Thundurus, and we can deal with Slowking with Regieleki. I'm going for Wave Crash. Because Wave Crash into Jet Punch should kill most variants of Palafin. He switches here. What's he going to go into? Did he expect me to swap out? Slowking. Oh, is he going to play the... Is he going to play the... He's probably going to play the game of switching out and trying to make me take damage. But I'm going to go for a free Wave Crash here. This is really nice. He's going to go back into Garchomp. Thundurus. This is going to die. Thundurus is dead. Okay. So is he Choice Band on Garchomp? I mean, if he's Choice Band... So if he's Choice Band, Adamant Choice Band does 292 max. Do I need... I don't really need Palafin anymore, is the thing. I don't really need Palafin anymore, and I still have Screamtail. Shouldn't I just go right into Screamtail here? And if he wants to go for Swords Dance, or if he wants to go for Earthquake, like this is the entire point of Screamtail, is to be able to counter this. I'm going into Coco. Let's go Coco. Do your thing. Do your thing, Coco. Go for Swords Dance. Please go for Swords Dance. Or go for Earthquake. That'd be even better. What's he going to go for? Scale Shot. Perfect. Perfect, perfect. Okay. He has to go into Sloking here, or Fortress, but he has to do that. So I'm going to baton pass, because he cannot afford to lose this. And if he wants to go for Ironhead, then I go into Pecharunt, and then I go and I sacrifice that and go into Palafin. I think he has to switch out here. He can't possibly stay in. Yep, he switches. It's going to be Slowking. Fortress. That's completely fine with me. That's completely fine with me, because now what I can do is I can go into Regieleki and I can click Terra Blast. How much does Regieleki do to Fortress? So Regieleki to Fortress, this does so much. How much does Terra Blast do? Terra Blast does 20%, or do I want to go into Palafin? Palafin Wave Crest is about 50%. What is Pecharunt doing to this? So Pecharunt does about 30. Garchomp, if he's Swords Dance, if he's max HP, Earthquake does about half, which is not enough. What's the play here? Do I want to go into Palafin and click Wave Crash? Yes, I think so. Because Garchomp can always be switched into by Screamtail if he does not have a fire move. So the play here is I want to just literally click, don't I want to bulk up actually? Don't I bulk up? Like, what can he do to me here? I'm just going to bulk up. Like, how is that a throw? Because Fortress can't do anything except Volt Switch on me. And that doesn't do very much at all, does it? Palafin Hero, Fortress, Volt, does 20%. Garchomp, if he's Swords Dance, if he's max HP, and he's like max attack, Jet Punch does 50% +1. I'm going for bulk up. What's he gonna do? Is he gonna Volt Switch? I mean, the best case here would be if he went for a Hazard, or like counter. Rocks. I do not know if that was the play. Because if he's max HP, Wave Crash is doing a bit. Don't I just want to go to +2 here? Like, I think this is the play. Once I get to like +2, +3 with this Palafin, I don't know there's much that can stop me. Because at +2, if he's max defense Fortress, this is going to do about 77, like 79 and 94. And I only take 25% in like response damage. And if he's max HP Garchomp, Jet Punch is doing 50%, meaning Jet Punch into Terra Blast should kill. And Slowking at this point is going to get annihilated. Like, Slowking just gets wrecked by this. So, like, what can he do to me? Is he counter? Is he curse? Body press. That does nothing. So +2 Fortress. 252. This does 79 to 94. If I get to +3, do I just auto win? If I get to +3, I just auto win. If I get to +3, I just auto win. He stayed in. What is he clicking here? Does he have counter? There must be something he's about to do here that I'm missing. Is he going to go for body press? Well, he goes for body press again. Okay. I mean, this is going to kill. Right? This totally kills. He's dead. Okay. Now he's left with Garchomp. That +3 Jet Punch. This has to do enough. I mean, it's going to do enough to put him in a Lecky range, which means that I think that Slowking should be able to clutch this out. Excuse me, I should be able to clutch this out with Regieleki against Slowking. I think so. So Regieleki against Slowking Galar. I mean, if he's max special attack Sludge Bomb, I do not die, and I 2-hit KO him with Electro Ball. So I think the play here against this Garchomp is to Palafin Hero +3 Garchomp. If he's max HP, Earthquake does nothing.
Earthquake does nothing to me. This should not kill at all. 20% max, 84. I'm clicking Jet Punch. If he's offensive, this will die. Okay, so this is nice because he's trying to sack it. I don't think that was the play. I think he was trying to go for my choke. If I clicked Wave Crash there, I think that was his goal. Yeah, but this dies. I think we win. So Jet Punch is going to kill the Slowking. Then we're going to bring in we're going to use our Elizabeth MVP to kill Garchomp. We're going to kill the Slowking first, getting ahead of myself. Garchomp will come in. If he switched out, he does not have a way to kill us because Regieleki will always be faster. Unless I get like a mega crit here. So he's going to go for Scale Shot. I'm just clicking Jet Punch. I think I win this. I win. Oh my gosh. We won. Holy crap. Oh. It's over, right? Oh my god, we finally won. Great games. Thank you so much to all the prep people that helped me out here. Nick and Harry, my fellow front office, Menind, Ani, Wombo, all of you guys, you're the best. You really helped me out here. Really appreciate it. Been a great season in UNPL Academy. I'm so glad to have finally won. I feel like this was something that was basically a monkey on my shoulder for a really long time, and I'm glad to have finally won it. We did it with Palafin. I don't know what to say. So thank you so much for watching, everyone. We'll be back for next season, and take care. Bye.